Worcester, the child from Limpopo streets, wherever we are here to fight for everybody, for every child, for every mother, for every young man, old man that is oppressed. First and foremost, I just want to say that it's not always liquor to come into the space, because the castle is a space of oppression, it's a space of pain, and we know pain and oppression so much, and it lives with us. And we find ourselves, many of us, in the spaces that we are in our lives today, that pain and that trauma sits deep with us. So whether it is Kratoa's body and remains that was buried here, whether it was our people being chased from the Table Bay area, from the Lisbeth River area, from District 6, and dispossessed and thrown under apartheid, we're carrying all of that pain. And that pain and trauma is still evident in what we're seeing today in our children. It's still evident in what we are seeing today on the Cape Flats. Because that intergenerational violence that we carry through our DNA is there. It's by no accident. It is designed for us to suffer in the way that we are. And as long as we are not sure as to where our pain and trauma and our suffering are coming from and why it is still so in our faces, so insulting. As long as we can't see the reasons behind it, our children, my grandchildren, your children will continue to suffer. And we will continue to lose Ashley Kriels. And we will have to continue to mentor and mold new Ashley Kriels. And let me say, I'm a feminist. The Ashley Kriels weren't alone. They were the Henriette Abrahams, they were the Corey Williamses, the Tandi Bodices. Many of us sitting here, Shirley Gunn was supposed to be here, June Iso isn't here, but there were many of us. And our stories are not being told, but we do the work, and we still do the work. You know? So I'm thinking tonight I want to talk about what is bothering us. So you will be watching the movie Action Commandant, and it will be explaining, people will be explaining from different parts of his life who he was, what he did, and what he meant for us. But there's so many things happening, and there's so much that needs to be done. And not all of us are organizing ourselves, according to me, in my humble opinion, and I might be wrong. And I don't profess to know everything or much about everything. But there's not enough of us that's mobilizing our communities on the ground. It's good to write an article, it's good to make a political analysis, it's good to write a speech. But what is better is to organize on the ground. Now that's where we come from. That's where Ashley comes from. That is how he, and many others, Ashley wasn't the only hero in Bonchebo or on the Cape Flats or in the country. It was always about a collective leadership, collective decision making, collective campaigning, lots of hard work going in before, lots of learning going in before a campaign, lots of action. But we, many of you here today, we read, we discuss, we analyze, we plot and we plan. And back in the day, we weren't afraid. We weren't afraid of the system. I see many of my Rastafari brothers and sisters here. And it's good to have the philosophy, but we must put action to our words also. And Rastafari is a very peaceful movement. But sometimes we need to rattle the cages. Sometimes we need to take action. And we need to mobilize ourselves. Because we don't live on islands. We come from a community. We come from a family. We come from a culture. We come from a history of resistance. And each of us have a role to play. Each of us. It doesn't matter, like I went back to Bontego after being divorced, and I'm not sad about my divorce. I had a beautiful divorce, let me put it that way. But I went back to Bontego, not going back to a leafy suburb, because I couldn't. I decided I'm going back to my hometown, I'm going back to go and organize, I'm going back to live with the people. I'm missing my people because one foot in Bontego wasn't always enough for me, right? And so, why did I go back? Because all of a sudden the streets of Bontego didn't look much different from what it used to look like in the 80s. And that is the place for many of our working class areas right across this country. So what is it that we need to do? We have so many political parties, and we see them election times, and we see them on TV and in speeches and in marches and all of those things, but we don't see them on our streets organizing around our people's issues. Right? We don't see them organizing. Last week, the week before, including my house, has flooded. Everywhere we've seen floods, but we didn't see the political parties on the streets helping our women, our old grandmas whose beds were soaking wet. We've been talking to the city about the failing, the aging infrastructure, the fact that our townships are overpopulated and that the infrastructure is failing because it was never built for that many people to deal with in the first place. We haven't seen the political parties, and we haven't seen the members on the ground also with our people. So I went back after the realization that political parties doesn't do much for our people. That we as the people have to go back in the way that Ashley and us and those who before us in the 80s and the 60s organized. We have to go back and we have to mobilize our people door to door. We have to go back and we have to ask our people what are the issues that we should be focusing on, what are the issues that we should be fighting on. We have to go back, live with our people, mobilize around their issues, not about around the issues that we need to fight our people's causes unapologetically. It's better for me to stand outside of a political party and fight whomsoever else, be it on a provincial, a municipal, or a national level. Because sometimes I can't go against my leader, then I'm ill-disciplined, isn't it? The comrade is undisciplined. You don't speak to your leaders like that. And let me tell you, we don't come, yes, many years, many of us sitting here from the 80s, we don't come from this era of commander, chief, Malita. We don't know what that is. Because all of us were equal. Ashley was Ashley. Johnny was Johnny. Trevor was Trevor. Cheryl was Cheryl. I wasn't commander. CIC. That nonsense, no. We were servants of our people. We were servants of our people. We have too many commanders and chiefs and no servants. If you don't know what it is to serve, if you don't know what it is to give with passion and commitment, what are you doing in this space? Are you getting a paycheck? Is it for the status? Is it for the networks to get into where the money is flowing? What drove us back in the day was never money. It was never status. It was about building a collective to fight an apartheid system, right? And if we look at what it is that we have to fight today, we might not have apartheid, but we have oppressive policies. We have budgets that's not pro-poor. We have budget cuts. Look what the city did, and when they said it so nicely, they took from our education budget and they put it in the community policing budget. So who suffered? Why do we have 70 children in a school? 65 at Moradam in one class. Why? Why can they do that, and why are we silent about it? Because we are waiting on some people to hold me but out of the news and in the TVs to talk to the issue. They can't do anything as long as they don't have the masses behind them. As long as we didn't do the groundwork to bring our people to resist. If we every year in, year out, doesn't budget speech, what is it? So no. Year in, year out, it's the same issues. I know that speech. I watch out for certain things. The budget speech and the social speech. It's the same stuff. That's neoliberalism being pushed on us over and over and over. And they think we're done. We don't see it. Maybe we are done because we are not actively mobilizing around these issues. We are not actively taking up the spears of the Ashley Kriels and Anton Francis and so many others and bringing about the changes. We are not mobilizing enough. We're not mobilizing in a strong force. For the fees must fall, students, we had hope. Remember that movement that was started, the fees must fall? We had hope. Some of the images that was there that reminded us of our days back in the 80s. How they threw all of those youths, the CPUT and the UCT youths, and they were here in Parliament, threw them into the Umbomo truck, you know the Umbomo truck, big van. And how the first cleanse came out there, there's Khadija, there's everybody. We know that first out of the van, so we know it so much. Because that was us. We thought that this is the time is coming. There's a change. But unfortunately, that struggle wasn't sustained. And why it wasn't sustained is for us to sit and analyze. And for me, part of it was because we haven't done the groundwork, the sustainable work. We had outside struggles on the universities and technicons and wherever. But once the campuses closed, our people went home, they were dispersed. So they didn't ground and grow and sustain this struggle throughout. Okay. Sorry if I'm jumping everywhere, but on my mind I'm just saying that there are certain things that we have to be very, very careful on in terms of giving our power away so easily. Being hopeless in our current states and where we find ourselves. We cannot afford to be hopeless any longer. It's 30 years on today, it's 38 years since Ashley's passing and so many others. We cannot afford to be docile. We cannot afford to do things in the normal way. We have to become militant. We have to say enough is enough. We have to go beyond that saying. We have to mobilize, we have to pull people in, and we have to pull people out. Yesterday I wrote, and every time when it comes to June, whether it's Ashley's memorial, Anton's memorial, Pauline's one, or whomsoever, but it's significant points in my life because I was but a young girl. And it upsets me, because the trauma is still with me, and many of us, right? So it upsets me, and I always think about What would they have done if they had still been alive? It upsets me because I experience and I witness with my other friends and comrades the trauma and pain that we are still living in for those years of our youth. We were a very different youth. We didn't take no for an answer and we made shit happen. We organized on different tiers and different levels. We did not only organize, as we did not only organize on school, we organized on schools, we organized in the youth, we helped our mothers organize the ethnic workers there, Flow and them across the bridge. We helped the sports people in organizing and bringing them into the movement. We helped everywhere. We didn't just have this one side of struggle, right? Because all our struggles are interconnected, and we understood that very clearly. And today we have people working, black government, all working in their own little pockets, in their own little silos. And that is what is not making us effective enough to fight the issues that we are fighting. And I also want to call them, women, let's move to the front. In our communities, it's the women who does the work. Ask the political parties who they canvassers are. Do you see them as the aunties, as a thing? As the aunties. Women, stop giving away your power. Step up, claim your space, organize, and let's fight the patriarchy also. Let's fight it, let's smash it. Say, sorry brah, stand terug. This is my space. This is our women's space. This is how we're going to organize. This is what we contribute. This is the value that we are bringing to the struggle. Let our partners and our members in our organizations and wherever not put us in a corner. At maak die saak, ek kan onthou, ek was jong. Praat saam met week 2. I was talking to week 2's in Captain High, to week 2 region teachers. My Engels was so broken, soos môre die hele dag. But I spoke. And you become better, and you read, and you become more. Don't, ek kan nie praat en sy praat, lekker, jy en jou praat, beter as my, maar dat jy en jou praat, dat jy en jou praat. Your voice carries so much power. Maak die saak, hoe jou taal gebruik is of nie. Do not let that be silence. Go back. When mothers carry so much power, back in the 80s also. Mothers brought families to the struggle. In the same way that mothers can bring families to fight the issues that we are struggling with in our communities. So realize that power. Okay? Now I want to go to something, and I hope my battery holds because I wasn't a good girl, I didn't charge. I want you to listen to this voice note I got this morning. I want you to listen to this.
Good morning, people. I actually Snell. I'm speaking to you of my grandmother. Please everything is my grandmother's household, and my grandmother is a pensioner. She can't anymore the people in the house. Some people get taken out in the house doing drugs and everything. And my grandmother is only responsible to work in the room and do everything in the room. She doesn't have every time she does something else, she does that's taken out of food. And as well, too much of my grandmother, she's a pensioner and she's taking out. And she can give 50 cents to all the people that are taking out, all the people is doing drugs and everything. People is coming in and out doing the mud life. And this is my mom's kitchen. She got my food in the kitchen. So then do the drugs in there and go there and do it too much. I found the police twice and they said they were going to send out people, but no one responded. But the first one phone, they said the all stars, there's the awesome name and everything. And actually that's my mom's granddaughter. My mom called me one time because she's getting too much and I said we've been going on for a long time and I've been phoning and speaking to the police, but I'm still waiting now. I phoned up by 10 o'clock side and it's now almost 12 o'clock and no one came out and I've been waiting on it. And it's very sad for me because I'm living in a house and there are things happening around me. where people just come there, but they doesn't even love you or anything, they just come there and do their own things in the house, which is not fair. There's like my baby comes and everything is just people in the house and everything is just in and out of the caserism and everything. And I'm quite sad about it because my mom doesn't even get like chance to work in the house and everything. And every time she put the people outside, they show up, they just don't go and everything. They just walking over and all that. And it's walking on me because I'm very young. I'm still in school and I can't take the pain anymore because my mother and my father passed away. There's no one else to help my mom and everything. And I have a brother that's also loving there. That people is thinking that it's a case. But even some people get tired because of that. Or the in and out, they make it this house, a drug house actually. And so I can't love with the fact that that is happening because my mom is old. She can't anymore. And she can't anymore with this stuff because every time things are like this happening midnight, we can't even sleep or anything because the people is in and out there. And I've been trying to call the police, but nothing is coming the way. Nothing is just coming right. Like I've been trying to think my effort. I'm only 16 years old and I'm not going to be living like this. I'm on school, I'm still a minor on school. So I can't even stand to my school because of things happening in my mom's house. And I can't take it because there's too much pain. It's too much for me to live in such a house. I've been living in such a house for all these years and I can't anymore. My mother and my father is not anymore there to be with me. And it's only my mom that's there. My mom is also trying to help us to live in a better household. But it's just them that's just a problem taking over. Every time my mom said they must stop doing this, they must all leave it and they just do. They don't even give my mom anything. She must work around on the house. She must pay everything herself. They don't put everything to do work and anything. It's just my mom, me, my mom and my auntie and my cousin and my brother is living there. I'm upstairs in one room and then the rest of the house people is taking over but they don't belong there. It's only my mom's two stepchildren that's there and it's because of them that's doing this, the stuff is happening. Cancers is coming in and out there in the night and stuff. What if anything can happen to me that's a girl? To my mom and my auntie, my brother, the people really think about that as a gangster, but he isn't a gangster, he's an innocent child. They come running out in the midnight and just scaring them, making them emotion. It happens all around in the house. Then all we must do, we can do nothing because I've been calling the police and nothing is happening, nothing is coming right. That's been going on for a very long time. And I can't handle this because I'm very young for all of this stress to be now putting on me. And my mom, that's a pensioner. That's the 62. Things are very difficult for her. And for me as a minor, and I can't anymore handle this. I need help. People need to, I need help and I want people to send out police and everything. My house can be right. And it's very sad for me that living in such a house.
So that is the voice note that was sent this morning by a 16-year-old living in Buntu. And that is the cry of our youth. And it's not the cry of leaders of Buntu. It's the same thing. We work with women in most of our areas on the 30 flats, be it Uberletu, Khayelitsha, Heideveld,